Greetings to all. After you comprehend this, today's video will teach you how to stop overspending. You can do several things to prevent spending all of your savings if you have a limited budget and don't want to spend too much money. Please don't purchase anything unless you need it to start. Don't buy anything if it's something you don't need. The only items you should spend money on are those you need. Can't some people resist making a purchase they believe to be good? But on the other hand, is it difficult for you to resist making unnecessary purchases? Undoubtedly, you are not alone. But unfortunately, this practice is one of the leading causes of people's frequent financial difficulties. Here are 10 red flags, but it would help if you didn't get that. 10. You always make the minimum credit card payment on time. One of the most common warning signs is that you shouldn't purchase the item. You are unable to organize your credit card payments. You shouldn't add to your financial load right now. If you've been making the minimum payment on your credit card amount each month, swiping your card is simple, but this also means that your monthly credit card repayment must increase. It will be more difficult to proceed with the purchase if you already have trouble paying off your credit card debt. You're creating a giant hole for yourself, one that might be difficult to escape from. So before you splurge on anything else, try to be cautious about using your credit card and find more effective strategies to pay off your debts. 9. There isn't a crisis in your life. Nobody knows if you will require expensive surgery or an extended hospital stay. Nobody knows when they'll be involved in one or when a loved one will be. The idea is that no one can anticipate the future, so if you don't start saving for emergencies now, you probably won't be in a good place when one arises. Using your emergency fund to pay for something you desire is not a good idea, even if you have one. If you decide to indulge, you won't have the money available. In an emergency, it will be difficult for you to borrow money from your parents, family, and friends. There is no guarantee they won't want you to repay the loan, even though they might assist you. 8. You haven't looked over your finances to track their expenditures. The majority of people use working budgets. Giving money for what you want would be good, although not necessities. These are things that you would like to have. This includes new clothes, shoes, jewelry, and other objects. Examples of new things would be dresses and new shoes. Unfortunately, if you don't know how much money you have left over for wants, buying that item might not be a good idea. Having a budget app or a cost tracker on your phone would be nice. Then, before making any purchases, you can check your allowance and your wanted budget. 7. You are utilizing the future. Using future funds to pay for something is one of the buying. That item might not be a good idea if you don't know how much money you have left over for wants. Buyer worst blunders. They base their purchasing choices on having access to sufficient money soon. Say you go on a shopping frenzy because you anticipate receiving a $2,000 bonus the following week. You approach your parents or friends for a loan because you don't currently have the money. In some circumstances, you might consider using your credit card. After all, you have a big payment coming up soon. But sadly, nobody can predict the future. What if your business decides to forego awarding the incentive due to unforeseeable circumstances? Perhaps they made a calculation error. Someone made a mistake and added another zero to the amount, making it $100 instead. So you owe individuals $200 to cover the $2,000 you spent shopping until your heart's content. A suggestion is provided here. If there is future money, wait till the money arrives in your hands before making any decisions with it. 6. You're anxious or upset about something someone has said. A great way to relieve tension and anxiety is to go shopping. Dopamine is released in the brain when one rewards themselves with designer clothing or pricey jewelry. Your conduct of purchasing the item, even though you don't need it, is further justified by the fact that this drug makes you feel lovely. It's become second nature. When you're depressed, you'll spend money at the closest store. You need to be aware this conduct hides the trustworthy source of your tension, either your anxiety or another issue. After purchasing, you can feel wonderful, but the problem will remain. So you should go out and get another one as a remedy. It would be best to confront whatever is troubling you head on. If tension is what you're experiencing. Try exercising, relaxing, and engaging in other hobbies that don't require spending money. Worries, stress, and anxieties should never be the driving forces behind a purchase. 5. You experience some unease. Most of us frequently ignore a product's drawbacks in favor of its advantages. For instance, comfort is one of the most critical factors in selecting a new pair of shoes. So you try on a lovely pair of shoes you adore because of the style and design. You attempt to take a few steps, but it doesn't feel all that comfortable. So finally, you try to defend your choice to purchase the shoes by praising their style, design, and possibly even brand. In your opinion, will you wear that shoe for at least 6 hours when you arrive home? Although the agony will be intolerable, you might continue to wear them on rare occasions. So it would be preferable to think about comfort while purchasing something. Consider wearing the thing for a few years, several hours per day, most days of the week. Avoid buying if you can't. 4. You sense pressure. We comprehend. Making as many sales as possible is demanded of salespeople. Some of them rely on sales commissions to make a living. They won't have any groceries to take home at the end of the week if they can't get a consumer to. Salespeople will likely thrust products in your face that you don't need. They might use various strategies to entice you to buy the priciest, albeit perhaps not the greatest, item on the shelf. Find the strength to refuse the salesperson's pressure if you feel it. Avoid listening to outside noise and pay attention to your instincts. Not just salespeople can pressure you into making a purchase. Other people, such as your siblings, parents, relatives, acquaintances, or coworkers, may also do so. So, resist giving in. In the end, it is your money and not theirs. 3. You want approval. Some people make purchases to establish their worth and increase their social acceptance. Some people may even invest in goods to show they can. The issue with this practice is that it might cause you to become a brand-conscious consumer. There is nothing wrong with being a brand loyalist. However, your finances may suffer if you consistently buy things you don't need. Most people are unaware of this. It is another problem. If, for instance, you walk into a boutique store and all the employees are occupied with customers other than you, could it be that they are dressed better or are accessorizing with jewelry that attracts more attention than you? How about you? You believe you deserve to be treated with the same respect as the other purchasers, so you decide to buy the most costly item on the list, only to regret it later. Avoid being caught in this trap. There are various ways to prove your worth without spending money on things you don't need. 2. You want to make everyone else look good. This conduct is nearly synonymous with looking for validity. However, the objective is to increase your likability with a person you respect. Purchasing items you don't need to impress others is not frugal, much like when teenagers seek to fit in with the popular crowd. It would be best to consider why you are purchasing a particular item. Is it something you need for work, education, or a household task? Or are you planning to buy it to prove to others that you are a part of their group? If all of your friends have iPhone 14 Pro Maxes, you could assume you need to purchase the newest Apple iPhone. The tech department is full of Tesla owners, so you might also want to consider purchasing one. Once more, stop there if these are the justifications for your purchase. It was not purchased by me. 1. When shopping, you become frustrated. The fact that there are too many good options for comfort in today's commerce is one of its benefits. You may find a vast selection of reasonably priced items that are similar. Having to choose from tens of thousands of items that all offer the same thing might be frustrating. But because I experienced disappointment myself, I can relate to you. It may be challenging to find the ideal product, especially if you are unsure of what you want. But man, even if you do, there are likely hundreds of products available for you to choose from. Sadly, if something doesn't appeal to you, you'll be tempted to purchase the next item you see. But unfortunately, what you bought doesn't interest you, which is the drawback of this situation. You decide at that moment that you must buy it, simply because you've been searching for a long time. The bad news is that once you've made the purchase, you'll regret it, and put the item in your closet where you'll never use it. The video has come to an end. Please check out my future video. Enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. Cheers!